This latest mass shooting in Texas drawing attention to the disturbing trend of rising gun violence in America. Now, there have been more mass shootings in the U.S. than days in the year so far in 2022. Dre Clark joining us live right now with a look at these troubling numbers. Dre.
Adrienne, good morning. According to the Gun Violence Archive, which tracks mass shootings across the U.S., yesterday's school shooting in Texas marks more than 200 mass shootings happening so far this year.
Gun violence may be America's new public health crisis. The images of bullets and bodies laying on streets across the country have become almost unbearable. 10 people recently shot and killed at a supermarket in Buffalo, and now 19 children and 2 adults meeting the same fate at a school in Texas. Americans once again left asking why and what can be done to stop it from happening again. The FBI says there were 61 active shooter incidents last year, incidents where shooters targeted people in public places like schools.
There are families who are in mourning right now, and the state of Texas is in mourning with them.
According to Education Week, there have been 27 shootings at K-12 schools this year. The online publication says there have been a total of 119 since 2018, with 34 school shootings occurring last year. Gun violence overall in America has reached record-breaking numbers. In 2020, more than 45,000 Americans died at the hands of a gun. That was an average of 124 people dying every day, whether by homicide or suicide using a gun. The overall gun death rate increased by 15% from 2019, making it the highest level ever recorded, according to the Centers for Disease Control. 5,000 more people died from guns in 2020 than in 2019.
As a nation, we have to ask, when in God's name are we going to stand up to the gun lobby?
The Gun Violence Archive, which tracks all gun-related deaths, says those deaths have surpassed more than 17,000 so far this year. Now, once again, there are calls for change, people asking lawmakers on Capitol Hill to help reduce gun violence and pass meaningful and reasonable gun control legislation. Some argue the research is unclear on how gun legislation policies would have a direct correlation with ending violence on America's streets. Instead, they argue the focus should be on limiting or eliminating gun ownership for those who have a violent criminal history or suffering mental illness that could put themselves or others at risk.
What are we doing? There have been more mass shootings than days in the year.
And there are some who say pro-gun lobbyists have an incredible amount of influence on lawmakers in Washington, and that's why it's so challenging to get meaningful gun control legislation passed. Meanwhile, Texas Governor Greg Abbott and Texas Senator Ted Cruz are scheduled to speak at an NRA event later this week in Houston. Some have suggested that both of those men should cancel those speaking engagements out of respect for the people who died there in Texas yesterday.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.